Today's workout is all about high-intensity interval training using your suspension training system. We're using the Bow500 suspension gym, however the workout is compatible with TRX or alternative suspension equipment as well. Let's get started with your warm-up exercise. Exercise 1 of this superset is a hammer press. So you're starting with your hands palm to palm and just dropping down into that suspended push-up and then pushing with your elbows tucked in until you've got soft straight arms. You can see at the end of the hammer press my arms are nice and parallel. Make sure that you keep a nice straight core line, so make sure there's no dipping of your back, and steady controlled push for this exercise. Exercise 2 is a cardio exercise. We're going to do some fast feet. So just transferring weight from one foot to the other. Make sure you remain on the ball of the foot. Keeping your knees slightly bent and keeping your hips behind you is going to enable you to go a little bit faster with this exercise. Your turn to superset these two exercises. Starting this one with a suspended glutes bridge. So you can see I'm starting with that inverted position, but my shoulders are lifted off the ground. So pretty much the only support that I've got is through my feet, which are at shoulder width. Now we're going to lift up slowly and really maximize on that glutes bridge. You can see I'm looking back to assist with extra elevation and then just returning nice and slow. Your arms are remaining soft straight the whole time, so there's no rowing action whatsoever. To complement this exercise, we're going to work some X crunches. So it's basically a crunch with your hand aiming for your opposite knee. So I really want to try and reach my opposite knee with the palm of my hand and thereby getting that twist. Really cutting across the abs and working into the intercostals as well. Nice steady control and maximum range of movement without lifting your lower back off the ground. Your turn to try this combination. starting the superset with some side leg raises. So you can see that my foot's remaining nice and horizontal. So as I throw the leg up, the highest point is my ankle. And then I'm trying to touch my cable with it so that I'm getting good range of movement. Very important to maintain your body line. So we're really using our abductors, but we're also using our obliques as well for this one. We're going to turn around and then we're going to do the other side as well before we go on to our floor exercise, which is some bicycle crunches. So with this one, as you crunch up, we're going to try and connect opposite knee and elbow together, really going across your abs and working those intercostals. Just make sure you've got steady control over your motion, return it nice and slow, and just work this one at your own pace. Your turn to try this superset. pulse row for the strength component of this superset. Now you can see I'm doing it from an inverted position, so I've worked my way in and I've got the bent knees going. But if this version is a little bit too difficult for you, you can start standing further back and keeping your knees nice and straight. Make sure you extend your arms all the way out. When you pull in, bring your hands all the way to your ribs, get that extra pump in there. And just make sure you've got good control over your movement. Elbows stay tucked in the whole time. For the cardio component, we're working some up scissors. So this is going to be a nice hard core exercise for you guys. You can see the scissors is vertical and I'm trying to keep my knees as straight as I can keep them. Now your flexibility will determine how straight your knees are and where you keep your foot position. But I want you to try to exercise maximum control over your movement. You can see I've also raised my head and my shoulder blades, which is going to keep my lower back protected throughout this exercise. Your turn to try this combination. Starting this exercise with some nice lengthy Bulgarian lunges. As I drop down into the lunge, I want to try and keep as much balance as I've got, and we want to try and keep that front shin bone as vertical as possible. So in other words, the lunge needs to be relatively lengthy in order for you to not hyperflex your knee. We're going to work the Bulgarian lunges on one side before swapping and doing the other side. And then for our cardio exercise, we're going to work some King Kong slams. So this is like dropping a slam ball onto the ground. We're going to really emphasize working that squat, keeping the feet parallel, keeping them at shoulder width, and really getting some work done, particularly out of your quadriceps. Your turn to try this combination. starting this superset with a twister. So hands are glued together, elbows are soft straight, legs are nice and wide so that they're supporting underneath you. Now, if you go too narrow with your feet for this one, that you might actually lose your feet. They might slip from underneath you. So make sure you stay nice and heavy and you stay nice and wide for these ones. Then it's just a matter of drawing a semicircle around you with soft straight arms. So you can see I'm creating that semicircle motion from one side all the way through to the other side. For the cardio exercise, we're going to get into our fighting stance and just throw some knee strikes. So you can see I've got a little bounce going as I work my way back, and then I squeeze, I throw that knee strike in. Really use your hips to try and maximize distance as far as your knee strike goes, and just stay nice and light on your feet. Your turn to try this superset. The first exercise in the superset is some angel wings. So starting in an abs rollout with your arms extended and straight body line, we're going to bring our arms down into a crucifix position and then hold our position for a split second before working our way back into the abs rollout. You can see controlled movement in both directions and the arms are staying soft straight throughout the set. For the second exercise, we're working some push-ups and throwing some alternating knee strikes down the middle as well. So knee with your left, push up again, knee with your right, and so on. Again, making sure we're keeping that nice straight core line. And you can see nice deep push-ups. Now, if you have trouble doing push-ups, you can do this one off your knees, and then you elevate back up into the prone position in order to throw the knee strike. Your turn to try this combination. starting this superset with some alternate lunges. So it's just a matter of stepping back into that lunge one leg at a time, and you can see that I'm not touching the floor with my back foot. So you need to try and keep all the weight on your front foot only. Now your lunge needs to be long enough in order to keep a straight shin bone as you do it, so that we've got the correct form going. And then just making sure that you're keeping a neutral spine throughout. For our second exercise, we're going to work some glutes bridges. Now you can see I've got my arms up so that I've got no support, but if you want to place your arms by your side, then that's okay as well. You can also see that my feet are at shoulder width, and when I push up, I want to make sure I get to that straight line from my shoulder all the way to my knee. The best way to elevate these glutes bridges is to really push down with your heels as you're lifting up. Good controlled tempo both on the way up and on the way down as well for this exercise before we change back into the alternating lunge. Your turn to try it. Exercise 1 in this superset is a biceps clutch. So it's like a biceps curl, but it's at 90 degrees. So my elbows are working their way all the way out. My hands are remaining very close together, and I'm just curling at 90 degrees. Now, making sure that your wrists are remaining nice and straight, and also making sure that your elbows are nice and high, so they should be the same height as your shoulders. For the second exercise, we're going to work some abs tucks. So very important to start this exercise protecting your lower back and making sure it's pinned right against the floor. Now, in order to stop my back from arching, I'm going to lift my head and shoulder blades and create that curvature in reverse. And then it's a matter of extending your legs all the way out until you get that lower abs engagement, and then tucking all the way in until you're getting that full abs engagement. Now, if you've got some good core strength, I want you to try and put a pause when your legs are nice and extended. Your turn to try the superset. Well done for getting through your workout today, guys. Let's take a moment to stretch and cool our body back down now. Comment and let us know what you thought of today's workout, and remember to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all the latest workouts.